Our second design today is going to incorporate some things that you might have around the house. So yogurt containers or glass jars, and this is the sort of thing that you could use as a centerpiece, and we're going to decorate it with some paper doilies, and then we're going to use the whole of the openings for a range of plant material. Often the biggest issue people have with placing flowers that they get or flowers they pick from the garden into a container like this is that there's nothing to hold it in place. And so they'll gather together something, might think to put an elastic band around it, might not, dump it in the vase, and then it all just falls into its own little natural places. So first of all, in preparing our container, I'm going to show you 2 ways that you can do at home easily and quickly that will give you the opportunity to keep plant material in its place. So first of all, it's just with some wire. Now you might have some chicken wire or some mesh of some description. This is just tie wire from the farm, fencing wire. You can buy it at Bunnings in the rolls. And what we're going to do, get a reasonable amount of it, screw it up into as messy a grouping as you can, like that. And so obviously with the chicken wire or the mesh, it's going to give you even more stability, and you just shove that in. Okay, and as you and this is what we'll do when we're doing it. As you do the placements, the various areas of the wire will hold your stems in place, so your placements you'll feel that you'll put it in and it'll stay there, hands off. So it's perfect, easy to do. The other way, again, if you haven't got the wire, you should have some sticky tape. Now I'm using this green pot tape simply so that you can see it, but you can do it with sticky tape, and it's all you do is make a grid across the top of your container. As many sections as you think will fit. Someone used my scissors on the sticky stuff. Can't imagine who that would have been. Probably me. And this is probably the simplest and easiest way to get started in for any container that you've got at home. So even if it's a clear vase and you use the sticky tape, make yourself a grid, and then you just do your placements in those squares, and it will hold your plant material in place. If you've got quite thick stems or a lot, then you can pinch those in between. Gives you a bit more space to do the placements and makes it a bit tighter structurally, a bit more solid structurally. So I'm going to leave both of those on this container so that I can show you how to actually cover it with the doilies. So start with 2 first of all, fold it in half, turn the glue gun on, 2 ready. So the first 2 are in half. The next ones, all of the next ones, fold it up, not too far, so just so that you've got a nice little bit of an edge there. And then we're just going to turn it into a cone, and always keep that folded edge on the outside because that's part of the decoration. So you'll see in this one that we've got that edge there. Just adds a little bit of repetition of the design rather than have that plain white up there. So we'll do those. So while the glue gun's warming up, we'll fold all of those. And you could do this with any sort of paper. The doilies come in all sorts of colours, so if you had a colour theme, you could do it with serviettes as well, paper serviettes if you wanted to. And for the paper serviettes, rather than have to fold it up like this, you might just because it's the square shape, obviously just fold in one corner in the diagonal and then just still do the cone shape the same way. We have a green light on the gun, so really simple, easy. Run your glue down it, flat end around the base. Should have my floral art fingers on, which I don't. So with your cones, find where the centre bit is, just roll it into a cone. Now the added bit of excitement with this is that we're going to put some water containers into these. So first of all, glue this edge down. This is where I should have the floral art fingers on because this is going to be hot. Glue that edge down. Where that join is, we're going to put a test tube. Now these are the ones that come from the florist supply place, and they come in bags of 50, but if you get orchids given to you, then they'll also come in a little vial of water. You can use those. So it's just anything that is plastic and thin, like a test tube. I actually got a massive supply of them from a place in Sydney called Reverse Garbage, which is out at Marrickville, and they just take industrial waste or products that people don't want anymore, and these were medical test tubes that were the place didn't want anymore, and so I got boxes of 50 of them for $3. So there's always somewhere that's got excess that they don't want anymore. So we're just going to glue that into there. So where the join is at the back, put it in, and then where the join is again, put more glue, and onto your container, and use to put pressure on it so that it glues, you get the bond. Just use that vial inside there to push it right against the edge, and you just do that all the way around. You end up with this, and we'll go and do that. One or two stems here of flowers, preferably something that drapes over a little bit, so it might even just be grasses or foliage of some kind, ripsalis or some typhus, some bulrushes leaves that you can drape over so that it breaks up the whiteness of the design. And then in this, we're just going to have what we put here replicated so that what you will see in the finished product, which is when we'll come back, is that the placement here will be like that, and then there'll be like a shadow, I guess, around it of things that you see in here that are around this area here. Okay, so that's our basic system. I'll do one more so that you can see. So we have making sure the shorter piece is on the outside. Twist it round into your cone. Pull it down without burning your fingers. Where the join is at the back on the inside is where you're going to place your test tube. Where the join is, obviously because we want that hidden from everyone's gaze, it's on the table, and just the next placement along. Now with these, if you were doing them for a party or something, you could actually, what I've seen done is with some dried lavender, you can put your glue around the top and then just roll them in the lavender before you put them in, and you can run the lavender through the centre so you get that repetition.
Wow.
And you get the aroma as well, and it gives you a little bit of more decoration on these. Obviously if they weren't white, if they were coloured, then they're going to be a little bit different. You could stick blingy stuff on them, but as a basic container with things that you might have around the house, that's where you can start. So let us see our active participants at work.